All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name's Kanipa with Macwa, Standing Bear, Soda Tribe Fishing Lake First Nations, Saskatchewan, Canada, Treaty 4 territory, Treaty 4 territory, Anishinaabe, and welcome to We Are the Medicine Circle, which really implies that we are the Medicine Circle. And it's really just like that. So no one's really in charge here. It may appear on the outside that someone's in charge. If someone is in charge, it's that great thing out there, and I'm only in the service of the Great Spirit, and I'm in the service of this circle. So this is not like a patriarchy thing. This is not a sermon. I'm not a preacher. You're not my flock. This is not any linear thing. This is circle medicine right here. I'm not. This is not a ministry. We just come together every day, and we talk about some really beautiful things. We talk about how we get connected to life and live a really beautiful life. And if no one said that they love you today, I love you very much. It really simply means that I want you to connect to a beautiful life and all those things. And how we do that is really simple. It's connect to those things that offer us life. Like everything that colonial world steers us away from, we're steering right back into, and we live the medicine. That's what we're supposed to do. That was a comment from one of you guys out there. So a couple of housekeeping things before we start. If there is a little connection thing going on, if I get kicked off, sometimes there's a little spinning circle type thing. Just know that I'm not going anywhere. If you get kicked off, just know that I'm not going anywhere. If I get kicked off, I'm just going to hit that play button again, the live button, and we're going to finish up the hour ish. I try to keep it to an hour, but I fail miserably every time. And again, I'm sorry for that. Your time is really valuable. So I understand that and get that. So please and thank you for that. So let's begin in the usual way. If you haven't had any smudge today, today's a good day to. There we go. And also, just kind of keep in mind, we are coming from two platforms today. So we're coming live from YouTube and also Facebook, obviously Facebook stuff. So, okay, all right. So also, if we could get a couple volunteers to keep this smudge going throughout the entire circle, that would be really great, because it is remembrance of the grandmother's prayer for the indigenous children that never came home from residential schools. We never want to forget those children. So that was a really beautiful prayer. She pops on here from time to time, and so. So yeah, let's remember the prayers for the residential school children that never came home, and it is, and the medicine behind that. It is the smoke that connects us all. So please and thank you. So let's begin in the usual way here. Let us, the elder said, if it doesn't begin with spirit, then it doesn't begin. If it doesn't begin with prayer, then it doesn't begin. So let's begin in a really good and beautiful way. Let's offer a little tobacco in a good and beautiful way. If you would like to offer with us, as my elder grandfather Tony Stone Hawk would say, that would be good. So and then Ouija to all my relations. Kitchamanitou, Great Spirit. T. Megwitch, thank you. Okay, was on me. I love you. We love you. Thank you for our breath. Thank you for our day. Thank you for our circle. Thank you for our life. We come here today. We mean no harm in what we do. We are grateful for our last breath, and we are hopeful for our next, and we live in that place in between. We come here, walk a pick, sit in a sacred way, listen in a sacred way, to remember all of these beautiful things that we are. But the first reason, that's how we come, but why we come, the first reason of why we're here, the celebration of life. The celebration of life. That is most important. Without life, we have nothing. So in order to celebrate our life, we have to celebrate all life. We have to celebrate all nations, tribes, and circles, especially those nations, tribes, and circles that do not look like the two-leggeds, like the standing nations, the ones that offer us breath. We say thank you. Offer the world breath. We say thank you. To the fish nations, the ones who teach us how to live in harmony and balance with the water. To the winged nations, the ones who teach us how to live in harmony and balance with the wind and air. The creepy crawlies and the slitheries and the insect nations, ones who teach us how to stay close and grounded to Mother Earth. To the four-legged communities, nations, circles, and tribes, the ones who offer us and teach us so much about our own humanity. We say thank you, and of course to other two-legged nations, circles, and tribes. But we understand that you are our teachers as well, and this makes us happy. We come here, we celebrate life in all directions, both seen and unseen. We give thank you to those that have give us life, fire, water, earth, and air. We celebrate the ones that have come before us, our ancestors. And remember, they are our relatives here, they are our ancestors over there. And we understand that some of our two-legged ancestors were hurt, wounded, abused, and traumatized, and they passed that along to us. We understand that. We acknowledge that. And we come here to heal from that and to learn that that is not ours to carry, but ours to heal from. And we're not here only for ourselves, because that would be selfish, but we're here for the next seven generations, where we only borrow this earth from our children, and our children are only loaned it to us. So we are at the intersection between two unseen worlds. A great time, a great place, a great opportunity. Great time of opportunity. Time of great responsibility to connect to all those things that bring us life. Doesn't have to be the way it's always been. We can change, we can transform, and we can transmute all those sicknesses. We can end our last life with our last breath and begin our new life with the next. And the Great Spirit was smart and wise and left a trail for us to follow. Left teachings for us to learn, for us to heal. Humility, love, truth, honesty, respect, strength, and wisdom. The 7 sacred teachings that were given to us. These teachings come from the stars and the star nations. The elders in the sky, where they brought us these in a good way, to learn how to live and to walk in a good way. How to have good relations with each other. For this is sacred law. This is the original prayer. This is what guides us to a beautiful life. let's give thanks for this day and these times and these teachings, and let us sit together and let us remember as we look at each other today, as we look at our relatives today, remember at the end of this day, when all these teachings are settled and done, we will remember that we are one. All right, good one today. All right, well, welcome everyone. Once again, my name is Kenny Pawit Matt Kwa, standing bear, Soda Tribe, Fish Lake First Nations, Saskatchewan, Canada, Treaty 4 territory. 60 Scoop survivor and published author, international published author. So a couple things before we start in earnest today. Hollow bones. There's a couple principles that we really have to go over that really benefit the whole understanding, both seen and unseen. So hollow bones, that's why we're here. That's how we live a better life. That whole prayer that we just went through, including the smudging is part of that prayer, it is the prayer, the 7 teachings, the medicine wheel, they are all wrapped up into one beautiful medicine wheel, one remembering that we are one. That's the deal. That's the hollow bone. So how we do that is we connect to the medicines that have life, that offer us life, and then we give thanks for that life. It's really that simple. That there's no sacred geometry, there's no this, there's no that, there's no numbers, there's no nothing. It's just us connecting to those things that have offered us life: wind, earth, air, fire, all those things, and of course water too. So all those things, all those medicines also include all these medicines here. And obviously a lot more. We got tobacco, we got the 7 sacred, the 4 sacred herbs. So they all carry beautiful, powerful medicine. Beautiful, powerful medicine that offer us a chance to live a really, really good life in accordance with sacred law. And sacred law is when we come in a good way, that means living and breathing, prayerful, walk with humility, love, truth, honesty, respect, strength, and wisdom. That's what we mean by walking in a good way. That's what we mean. That means we align ourselves with these principles. That was a question the other day. So it's also traditional to thank our elders and ancestors. So thank you to Tony Stonehawk. Been with him for close to 30 years now. He is Lenni Lenape out of the Delaware Nation. So thank you, Tony. Thank you. I would not be here if it weren't for Tony, by the way. I just wouldn't be here. So I'd be somewhere. I'd be over at the other world. So thank you, and thank you to all those men, Muslims, and Cookums over at Fishing Lake First Nation who have guided me in such a good and beautiful way. So thank you for that. And also, we want to thank our ancestors too, the ones that have moved across to the other world. So thank you. So thank you, especially the indigenous ones who carried this medicine. Is so important. We think that these circles and these ceremonies have been around for eons. Well, they really have, but the colonial governments outlawed us having our sun dance, rain dance, all these ceremonies. They would hunt down, murder, kill, imprison our medicine men and women. So it's really important that we acknowledge that. We thank those ancestors that carried this. It's really important that we do that. So it in fact makes our life a better life when we do. And so when we connect to that, give thanking to those that have offered us a life. And so that's really important. So, okay, circle medicine. Here we go. No one is in front of us. No one's behind us. No one's above us. No one is below us. And this is kind of the way it looks. This is exactly the way it looks right here. This is a braid of sweetgrass. This is not a prop. This is medicine for us to connect to the hair of Mother Earth. We are intertwined and overlapping, all of us right here. all of us here. Wow, there's a lot of us here. So that's great. Yeah. So that just makes the circle even stronger when we come together as one, when we grow together as one. That's also another teaching. We are stronger together than we are individually, right? And the braid of sweetgrass. It doesn't say that you have to be indigenous. It doesn't care where you're from, your height, weight, sexual identity, what race or creed you're from. All the medicine said is when we come together, we are stronger together. And, that's really absolutely beautiful. So thank you for the ancestors for, bringing us that. Thank you to the Mother Earth always for bringing us that. Okay, sacred feminine. So that colonial world marginalizes the life givers. So if you're a sacred feminine out there, we're with you. We acknowledge and we understand. We want you to know that you are beautiful, powerful, sacred here. You are enough here. You don't have to look like anything like that. Just know that you are beautiful exactly the way you are right now. And that's really, really important, because, we don't, the colonial world doesn't teach their daughters this. They have to be super skinny, they have to do this, they have to do the right thing, they have to wear the makeup, they have to have the phone, they have to like all these things, right? That doesn't make up the person. And we love you and we acknowledge you here as beautiful, powerful life givers, and we see you as part of this beautiful circle, and I'm so honored to be sitting with you in this beautiful circle. So again, thank you to all those beautiful grandmothers that have taught me this in a really beautiful, gentle way. Okay, so comment of the day. Question, comment. Please keep your questions, concerns, and comments coming. I do not guarantee that I will get around to all of them. All of them. I have to say that because if I don't, So anyway, commentary. So I had posted something recently, and this is kind of like a general teaching here too. So grandfather Tony Stonehawk taught me a really beautiful teaching early in this Red Road walk. We are walking the Red Road, the road of wellness, the road that connects to all other road, connects us to a real beautiful, happy life. You get to come here and you can do this if you want. But one of those things is he took me into 13 state and federal prisons inside Florida to carry ceremony to the indigenous inmates, right? And so, one of those conversations that we had a long conversation, because we drive from Georgia to South Florida and to Coleman, to see Leonard Peltier, and then we went to all over other places, private prisons too. And so, we do a lot of talking, and, especially early in my journey, my walk with the Red Road, he would say how important it is for us to honor the ways of other nations, circles, and tribes. Mm-hmm. It is so important that we honor that, right? So the Chiricahuas might do it a little different than the Minico U. The Omaha might do it a little different than the Shoshone. The Penobscot are different than the Abenaki, and so and the Cherokee and the Chickasaw, and so they all do one thing like a little different, and it's really important we acknowledge those differences. We acknowledge and we accept and say, hey, look, because we have no right to challenge the prayers, to question the prayers of any other medicine that comes to their medicine men and women. It is not our right, it is not our place. It's not our right and not our place. So if the medicine men and women, they see it or they call this something different, hey, that's okay. But hey, no. In fact, what Tony does with me now is he, whenever I sit with an elder, he says, take notes, and then share them with me, which is really just beautiful. We had a conversation about that, the other day. What was I sitting with? Oh, we went out to Kelowna, I guess, a couple months ago. So she said, well, take notes, and then they shared the notes with me. And so I did that. And so, it's much about the ability to learn, understand is about acceptance, and really it's really practicing humility too, right? It's really practicing. So when we say do it in a good way, that means be humble and say, look, okay, well, they're doing a little, and that's fine. They build their fires a little different. They build the sweat lodge a little different. So that's it. So anyway, um, yeah. So anyone who questions or just just be aware of that, right? Say like if anyone says, "Oh no, they're doing it wrong," you know, not in accordance with spiritual law. Right? Right. They may have some knowledge, but they're not. Be really delicate, be really gentle with them. Right? Right. This is not. This is again, if an elder, this is right and this is wrong, in like their own teaching, that's fine. But like if they call out like another elder and say, hey, look, this is wrong, you're doing it wrong, then that's not our way. That's not the way of the Red Road. Elders don't correct elders. That's just the way it is. You know, we just don't. Like if someone were to call out me in one of my teachings, then I would tell them this: hey, look, elders don't call out elders, and I would pretty much just leave it alone after that, right? Because again, that's like the Penobscot telling the Apaches that, hey, look, man, you're doing it wrong. Sorry, you're doing it right. It doesn't even sound right, doesn't even look right, doesn't even feel right, right? So. Oh, anyway, please keep your questions, concerns, and comments coming. Again, I do not guarantee that I will get around to all of them, but I will kind of answer as many as I can along the way. Okay, so here we are. Drum roll, please. Today's a wild card day, man. We just kind of like that day. So we're going to go over um, Daily Medicine, July 8th today. So if we get a volunteer to put that in the feed, that would be great. If these are the two books that we are going through. I've written both of these books here, Daily Medicine, Whispers from the Hollow Bone. So what we do here, this is really beautiful, and this is got this from Grandfather Tony. This first part, right? So. So I said, Tony, I said, I'm thinking about doing this thing, right? And I kind of explained I was really excited about doing it. I was really nervous too, because doing this whole thing in front of everybody, and like I'm going to be judged, and like all this stuff. So I like had to get all past that. So I got past that, and so then Tony said, well, where did they start? And I'm looking at Grandfather Tony. I'm like, like I'm thinking to myself, I have no idea what he's talking about, right? And so he said, well, give him a starting point, right? So I said, oh, okay, and he said, well, um, read it, and then we developed this thing that we will read it a couple of times and then develop a general impression, and that general perception is a perception, and again, our first general impression is not about right or wrong. That's a colonialism that we can leave at the door. So that says everybody's welcome to have a general impression, a starting point, without blame, shame, or guilt, which creates a really loving, beautiful place, right? An absolutely loving, beautiful place, a safe place. Like how many circles out there feel like that there's a safe place to go to? I wish I had a safe place to go to growing up, this kind of thing. So that's why we do that. So like for those of us who have drinking issues, or health issues, food issues, anything like that, drug issues, you are absolutely welcome here. You are absolutely welcome here. We love you. We need you. And so, and the beautiful thing is, like the person that has 3 days sobriety or whatever that looks like is just as important as the one that's been sitting here for 30 or 50 years, right? So That is the definition of beautiful circle medicine. We don't judge each other. We pray for it. We offer each other prayers. And so what we're going to do is we're going to read this a couple times. Daily Medicine, July 8th, and then we're going to develop a general impression. So that's something personal to you. That was a comment too, because someone said, "Well, I'm waiting for a general impression." I said, "No. The idea here is for you to develop your own." And then they said, "Well, I feel funny sharing that." Well, that's okay. You don't have to share, like. But if you do, that would be a good thing, right? Because we're not here to judge you, right? So there's no one here grading you. Thank God they didn't grade me when I first got here, right? All right. So getting down to it, our elders are windows into our ancestral wisdom. That wisdom will help guide us into the future. Wow. One of my favorites. No. What does that mean? What does that mean to you? Let's read that again. And again, this is a time of, let's be really gentle with ourselves here, right? Like we don't have to bring that colonialism into here. When we re-indigenizing is being gentle, right? Re-indigenizing is being gentle. Re-indigenizing is compassion, because that is aligned with Mother Earth. So we want to bring that medicine, walk with that medicine, and how do we know? Winter doesn't fight with spring. That's how we know. See that just moves. It just naturally happens, right? Like there's not a fist fight between winter and spring. There's not a fist fight between summer and fall. There's just a natural, and it just happens naturally. So let's remember that, right? So. Our elders are a window into our ancestral wisdom. Boy, that's powerful, man. I could go over that for a long time. So that wisdom will help guide us into the future. So it's kind of like two parts here. It's kind of like recognizing and understand what we do from there, right? So recognizing, understanding, clearing the path. There's clarity now, because who here says, the future, like we fret all the time about the future. How are we going to get there? How are we going to walk in a good way to that future? There's a lot of unknowns there, right? Well, the way we walk into the future is we peer into the past. You know what I'm going to do now. Right. That is full circle. That is a circle unto itself. That is one of those unseen wisdom. Wisdom is an unseen, right? Begins as an unseen and then morphs into the spiritual, and then ends up, in this case, looking like this, right? Beautiful, powerful thing. So, all right. So, okay. So, guess what word this starts with? Hour. So, again, English is a really bad language. For the benefit of the newcomer, English is a really bad language. It's porous. It's full of holes. It doesn't. That means it doesn't really connect us to anything. It's just a bunch of like, well, there it is, like water. Like, well, okay, there it is. In indigenous wisdom, in indigenous language. Often it translates to, the loose translation would be to flow in harmony. So, as we're drinking the water, it's not water that we're drinking, it's flow in harmony. Just see how that feels, right? And in a lot of indigenous languages, plants are the ones who offer life, the ones who give life. That's the loose translation. See, because it connects us to those things that give us life, right? So now we're drinking flowing harmony, right? You see how that feels? So now that this is just contrast medicine. So we, us, an hour, right? We, us, an hour. Like a broken clock. English is right, just almost maybe twice a day, right? So we take advantage of it when they are right. So we, us, an hour. And I want everybody to think in their mind and place in their mind. This is what we, us, and our look like, intertwined and overlapping human beings with our ancestors, with the rest of the world, and the rest of the world is in us. That looks like that. So it's really a beautiful, gentle, powerful team. We're just following what's already there. So our elders. Okay, here we go. So, who are our elders? Who are our elders? I'll wait. Who are our elders? Is it only the two-legged? I think like if we, that's a colonialism, right? That's like our only family is just two-legged, and our relatives only are, blood family. Well, that's in the indigenous world. No, we're just gonna, everything is our relative. All life is our relatives. The birds, the bees, the bears, the insect nations. That's why we start this prayer, the opening prayer. All nations, especially those nations that do not look like the two-legged, they are our elders. They are our elders. I need you to write that one down. I need you to put that in there, right? They are our elders. We are here to be a good relative, right? And that's not just to other two-legged to two-legged, We are to be a good relative to the winged nations. We are to be a good relative to the bear nations, the beavers, and the butterflies, to this relative right here. This is a relative. This is an elder right here. We don't distinguish, right? When it comes down to it, this has medicine. This is teaching us. This has saved so many lives so far, the medicine, right? It just smells like, that just smells beautiful. When we, when we smell, when we smell the medicine, right? That gives us life. That's another way. That's another teaching right there. I'm not going to really get into it, but it's just really, really, and it's really that simple, right? This is an elder. This is teaching us. This is taught all of us today in a great, gentle, beautiful way. This is not a problem. This is medicine. This is an elder medicine right here. So, so that goes to the trees. The trees, one of that beautiful stories I have. The tree said, "I am all heart all the time." That's medicine right there. That's elder medicine, right? Who here remembers my tree story? Just give me a little thumbs up. You remember my tree story? Yeah. Just hit that little button there. Yeah. So that's just a beautiful thing, right? Right. Oh, okay. So I think we've gotten past the first two words. So got 17 hours to go over. So I just love you guys. We just have a really good time here, right? We just have a good time here. So our elders. So our elders, right? Our windows. Okay. Windows. Okay. There's a pathway that we can open up a window. It's a doorway. You could put a lot of words there. It's pretty interesting that the Great Spirit chose to use windows there, right? So we can peer in, right? We can peer through. We can see. So we know something there's on the other side there, right? Right? And we can choose to walk there if we want to, right? Our windows into, again, we, us, and ours. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words. And the first 7 words, they used our twice. What is Spirit trying to tell us? The Great Spirit trying to tell us what twice in the first 7 words are ours. What are they? What is the Great Spirit trying to tell us, right? over and so to tell us once we should pay attention, right? Probably listen, right? They tell us twice. Well, then, okay, then they're trying to tell us something, right? Yeah. Right. 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 Our elders are windows. The medicine wheel are windows. That works, right? Mother Earth, window into our ancestral wisdom. Again, so elders and ancestral, what's the difference between the two? Right? This is so beautiful, so powerful. Okay? What's the difference between the elders and ancestral? Right? Windows, right? Peering through. That's how we see, right? Right. Not a whole lot of difference, right? Right. So if they are our relatives here, then they are our ancestors over there, right? Remember the first prayer? See how this is all beautifully like sacred geometry, just like working. I can't make this up, man. I just can't. I'm not that clever, man. I'm not that smart. I'm not that clever. I know how to listen a little bit, and I managed to listen to Grandfather Tony and a lot of other elders a little bit, right? And so the little bit that I got is like absolutely like look at the teachings that is coming through right now through the hollow bones right now. So elders and ancestral wisdom, right, right, right. Elders and ancestral, same thing, right? Again, they mirror each other. So the elders mirror here what the medicine is over there, right? So it's looking like that, right? Right, right. Okay, seen and unseen, spiritual and physical, same thing. That's what. So when we talk about mirror, that's what we're talking about. We're talking seen and unseen, spiritual and physical, right there. So we're supposed to mirror, walk with the elders and the ancestors, the medicine, to be in alignment, to find our place in the circle, to find our value in the life that we're supposed to do. And the value, that's the wisdom, that's the love, right? First, we have to understand that we know that we have a place in the circle. Who here has ever felt lost, lonely, scared, afraid, unlovable, unreachable? I am so unlovable because of what happened to me, what they did to me, right? Right. I have been abandoned, right? Who here has felt that way? Give me a little thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up thing and just like, yeah, okay, right, right. So now we understand, right? There's a collective sadness there. We understand that, right? It makes us feel some kind of way when we're sad, lonely, depressed, alone. But now there's like survivors of a shipwreck, right? Now we're coming together and we're understanding that our personal journeys and our personal path, that's some of the wisdom that they're saying here, right? You are not alone. Your sadness, you are not alone. Your sadness, you are not alone. Right? It took a couple grandmothers about 25 years ago to explain that to me, right? Because I felt so lost and so alone because of what happened in the orphanage and foster care. I just said, you know what, I was broken. That broke me. It broke the boy in me. It absolutely did, right? You know, and I became angry, and I started using dope, and all this stuff. The violence like you wouldn't believe, right? So that's but when I started walking the red road, they started explaining what was happening and was happening to me. Right, right, right. So now there's a shift of awareness, there's a shift of consciousness. That's the wisdom. The wisdom. Right. I love you. Just hang with me. I know a couple of you are feeling like that, but just hang with me. This gets better. This just gets absolutely better. We're about to come. This is like the minutes before the sunrise. You ever watch the sunrise? That's another reason why we watch the sunrise. You know, I watch the sunrise almost every morning, right? You know, when it's pitch black to that first glimmer, right? That's where a lot of us are right now. Well, we're sitting in that darkness, that place of loneliness, sadness, depression. Maybe some of us are still drinking or drugging, you know, whatever. I love you, doesn't matter. I love you. Just stay here, man. Just stay in the circle. That's all I'm saying, man. Just as Pops would say, just come sit with me. That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying here. We are the medicine. Just come sit with me. That's all. That's it, right? You know, that's all Pops ever said to me. It just come sit with me. That's it. That's all I ever did. That's all I could do, right? That's all I could manage, right? And that was like a mountain to climb. It's just like, oh my God, I was fretting. I was scared. I was lonely. I was sweating. I was like, oh my God. It was just like, oh, you know, what's he gonna think of me? I can't tell him the truth. I can't do this. Oh my God. You know, but all he said. That's all he said. Compassion and gentleness. That's what we're saying here. That's part of that wisdom. Who has been gentle with you along the way? Right? Who has been gentle with you along the way? Right? Yeah. Here in Indigenous Wisdoms and Indigenous Circle, just say, just come sit with us. So that's part of that wisdom, right? So as we're peering through the other side right now, we're lost, lonely, scared, afraid, frightened, sad, depressed, you know, grieving and mourning those things that we know why we're grieving and mourning. And one of those things that we're grieving and mourning is the loss of our mother, right? The loss of our mother, Mother Earth, our connection to the very thing that gave us life, physically and spiritually. So it's not just one mother. We have a lot of mothers out there, right? Mm-hmm. So, but I need you to write that one down too. So here, that's part of the ancestral wisdom. We're going to spend the next 2 hours. I'm just getting warmed up here. I need everybody to strap in here because it's about to get really good. So picture this in your mind. So like a lot of us have been at that place, you know, I need you to picture this, right? Like that little place before the dawn, right? You know, there's light up here, but the sun is still down here, right? Right? We know it's there. And yet, you know what? That sun that's about to rise is already in you. That's some of the ancestral wisdom. That's the lightning from the Creator that is giving us life. It rode the backs of the thunder beams. It rode the backs of the thunder beams to get to you. We have a direct relationship with the thunder beams, the cloud, the sky people, the first prayer at the center of the universe. That is all you. So us and the center of the universe, we are related. That's the wisdom that we're talking about here. That's the power. That's the relationship. That's the connection that gives us life. That's the connection that gives us life. I don't know why I'm whispering. I don't know why I do that. No. So let's read this again now with new eyes, with a new perception. How has your perception changed from, oh my God, we're 45 minutes, Steve. Okay, I'm not finished. Okay, so how is your perception? We haven't got to the back half of this. Okay, hold on. So how has your perception changed? And just this is a time of real, this is a time to notice absolutely how beautiful we are. So we're already peering into the past, 10 to 15 minutes ago and seeing how much we've grown. That's just a little glimpse of how beautiful you are and how this life can be. How about that? Right? So just feel that. I just want you to close your eyes a second, and I just want you to feel like how much we've grown here together. Look at us. So there's like 30, 35 of us, 30, how much? 35 of us here? 30 of us here. We have grown together in understanding. We all come from different places, roads, backgrounds, religions. Some of us are colonial refugees, Christian refugees, Catholic refugees, but yet here we are. That's the wisdom. So we're peering back into our own ancestral wisdom 10 minutes ago and seeing this beautiful thing called life. And what I want you to do now is I want you to feel really good about how much we've grown together. We are all beautiful flowers. We all bloom from the inside. And the power of this is that we all bloom together from the inside, right? We all bloom together from the inside. How beautiful is that, man? How beautiful is that, right? How astonishing is that, right? So let's read this again, excuse me. Our ancestors are a window into our ancestral wisdom. Okay, right. Can we be a place for our own wisdom? Absolutely, right. But we shouldn't be the only place for it, right? We can take a peek at it, yeah. Nurturing with gentleness our spiritual growth. In certain indigenous tribes, that's a ceremony unto itself, right? In fact, I was talking to an elder from the Black Road, and part of their coming of age ceremony is recognizing where they came from and how far they've gone, right? How beautiful is that? Coming of age ceremonies, right? For the boys, and the puberty ceremony, right? How beautiful is that? And then they have it going from boys to men too, right? It's not having that, right? So when they start having their own families, they start doing it. So that's part of. How beautiful is that? There's a book I want you to read here. That talks about that. It's Melodoma Somé. Really beautiful, really beautiful. Like when you have time. This is his book right here. I got some really beautiful, powerful Black Road medicine. Black Road medicine is also a part of the medicine wheel. It is a road. It is a direction up. So my teachings are. So the Black Road, that's where that comes from. That's where that's beautiful. So the Black Road, right? So these are all separate roads, right? And we're all supposed to meet right here. You know where right here is? It's right here. We're all supposed to meet. All roads lead right here. We are all beautiful, and all roads for us meet right here. That's the teaching. That's the teaching. That's the physical place we're supposed to all meet. If it doesn't go here, then it has a hard time going out to our families and communities and nations, right? Because it's not going here. So we are spiritually dyslexic now because we want to start with our nations, right? That's where the colonialists said, yeah, we're going to change our nation, right? No, we have to change the heart of the people to change our nations. That's the deal, right? Mm-hmm. So you can vote all you want, but if it doesn't go here, a vote is not right here. But this is where it has to go. That's why that colonial world, it just doesn't understand who we are, what we are. We're not machines. We're not machines. We are an integral part of this universe, and that's what this is. This is also, as another teaching, is also the center of the universe, which is also right here too. Right? So this is part of this beautiful ancestral wisdom that we have, right? Just sit with that for a second, right? How does that make you feel? Put it in the feed. Just hey, look, that feels really right, right? These feel really beautiful and really right, right? Really just like, and that feeling is that connection that we have, and that connection is also the wisdom. Connection is wisdom. You know what I'm gonna do? I was write that down. Right? Connection is the wisdom. That's how we get there. That's one way that we get it to the elders, through the elders, through the medicine, through the two-legged, the four-legged, the winged, right? That's why we have the hawk medicines here, right? Right? Hawk medicine, right? So, hawk medicine is, in a general way, what we can see far away. So it gives us the spiritual visions to be able to see what me and Denise call beyond and beyond, to see the teaching behind the teaching. That's why we carry these medicines. We don't carry these medicines to look cool or anything like that, to get followers, to be an influencer. No, that's not why we do that. We carry this as medicine, ancestral medicine, elder medicine, to help guide us in a really good, beautiful, gentle way. That is the definition of humility right there, right? Right. Carry the emblem of the bear. That's just not jewelry. This is medicine for us. This is medicine for me to my name's Standing Bear, right? So, stand your ground, right? Because a lot of people come in, they like to push, right? And say, well, this is the right wing. This is, your wrong wing. This is, and I'm just like, I'm just a bear medicine. That's just the way it is, right? So, bear medicine, I stick to the things that have given me life. Those things, and what's given me life is love, humility, truth, honesty, respect, strength, and wisdom. Wisdom. Here we go. So, wisdom here also part of, also part of, one of the seven sacred teachings, the seven sacred teachings from the center of the universe, the ones that will remind us, if and when we walk the red road, that we are one, right? We won't know we're one until we walk the red road. Practices, principles. That's part of that wisdom here. So it comes from this just one wisdom. With this wisdom, humility, love, truth, honesty, respect, strength is wisdom. Right. And of course we have okay, so here we go. So that's it right here. So now we have the seven sacred wisdom. The animals, so humility, wolf, love, eagle, truth, turtle, honesty, sabe, respect, buffalo, strength, bear, wisdom, beaver. So, so they're constantly bringing us back to the place of Mother Earth. And Mother Earth is back to us. We are the animal, earth, plants, and so. And so also, these are, spiritual, emotional, mental, physical. These are also the four herbs. So it'd be cedar, sweetgrass, sage, and tobacco. And just let me say this: different indigenous tribes have different teachings with that, right? So this is time to practice great gentleness, right? And also with the herbs, it's some are female, some are male. We don't get into that debate. What your teachings, what your elders say, just go with that, right? Just people say, well, my teaching is a little different. Well, just my thing is just go with your elders and say that, then that's right. So anyway, how much time do I got left? 5 minutes. Okay. Our elders are a window. Funny says a window. Didn't really cover that, right? A window. So that means there's more than one. I didn't catch that when I wrote it. I just caught it right there. Okay, so we'll just say that there's more than one window. This is a window into our ancestral wisdom. So that implies that there's a lot of windows into our ancestral wisdom. Okay. I hate to breeze through that. Okay. That That wisdom will help guide us into the future. Okay, they just made that really clear. So, our ancestral wisdom, we have come full circle now. So, they're telling us this is not for selfish reasons, right? This is not for self gain, right? That's what they're telling us. So the teaching beyond the teaching is like, we don't do this for ourselves. We don't celebrate life just for ourselves, right? That's a colonialism, right? Oh, my life's so important. That's a colonialism, right? But the reason why we're here, we celebrate life. How we celebrate life, our life, is to celebrate all life, right? So that's the preamble statement. That's part of the opening prayer, the wisdom that will help guide us into the future. So the next seven generations, we borrow this earth from our children, and our children are only loaned to us. Next seven generations down. So it tells us to be better people. It tells us to live in a beautiful, sacred way, right? A beautiful, powerful, sacred way, right? Right. Oh, our ancestral wisdom will help guide us into the future. We have come full circle. We are not alone. We can take the teachings, the love, the power, the wisdom, the respect, the honesty, the truth, the wisdom with us. They're just talking about the wisdom. You can put any one of the other sacred teachings in there, and this would still work. That's how beautiful this unseen sacred geometry is. You see how well it's placed and put together? I can't make this up, man. And I only know a little bit, man. Talk to some of the owners who really know, just kind of like that, right? You know, this is so beautiful, so powerful, so dynamic, right? Just sit with this, right? And so it not only tells us that we have a place in the circle, but it gives us direction, how to go, what to go, and tells us how to do it, how to be a good relative, right? It tells us how to be, like if you want to flip that around, it tells us how to be a good ancestor, because someday that, we'll be someplace else, and the seventh generation will sit here and be like, wow, you know what? These people sitting in this circle, Kimberly, Beverly, Nita, Dawn, will say, wow, you know what? They did a really good job. They did a really good job living their very best life, That's what they say here, We have come full circle, right? We have come full circle, right? So you see how big and beautiful and dynamic this just got, right? I tried to wrap that up in 3 minutes. So, our elders, we know what elders are now, right? Mm-hmm. We know what elders are. Not just the two-legged, right? The beavers, the buffalo, the eagles, all the trees, everything, right? Including the fire, first fire, center of the universe, right? That's how beautiful and dynamic and windows into our ancestral. So the ones that are here and the ones that are over there. So we are all related, right? We're connected, right? All the medicine, all life, we're connected to all that, beautiful life into our ancestral wisdom. That wisdom, okay, so now we got this thing called wisdom, right? So what do we do with it? Help guide us. So humility, love, truth, honesty, respect, wisdom. That's going to help, because wisdom is already wrapped up with humility, love, truth, honesty, respect, strength. You can't have one without the other. That's the beautiful dynamic. That's the sacred geometry to the seven sacred teachings, right? That's it right there. You can't have one without the other, right? You can't say, well, I'm just going to talk about humility. And you can't talk about humility without love, because love is a huge part of humility. You can't talk about humility without talking about the truth, right? They're indivisible, right? They're indivisible. You can't divide up. You can't divide up, right? That means you can't be sneaky. That means you can't cheat on your spouse. That means you can't take money to abuse other people, right? Right. 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 That means you can't take from your job. Right. Right. respect, and you see it's all rolled into one beautiful, powerful, powerful teaching. This is this is a teaching that reaches out in all directions all the time. This is the way we're supposed to live, right? It's not only tells us where to go, it tells us how to walk and understand and communicate in a really good and beautiful. And, we're going to say this again in a really gentle way. So, is there any opposition in here? No. No. The only thing that's negative in here is the refusal to do this, right? And that comes from you. Right. We don't enter into those debates. The medicine doesn't enter into. This is like a fork in the road here. Whether we want to live this way, a really good, beautiful, powerful life connected to all those things, abundance, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Right? What does Let's take a look at that. So, what does that look for you? What does abundance look for you? If everything begins with spirit, then what does that look like for you? Right? What does abundance look for you? Beginning of spiritual abundance, right? These are questions that are brought up when we start walking in a good way, right? Well, what's going to happen to me if I start walking in a good way, right? That's a reasonable question, right? Is it financial stability? I don't know, maybe. Is it emotional stability? Yeah, I think so. Is it spiritual stability? I think so. Absolutely it is, right? Because that's the ancestral wisdom. The wisdom is knowing that everything's going to be all right, no matter what. People come and go, come and leave. That's just the nature of the seasons, reason for a season, whatever that is. People come and go into your life, just knowing that some of the wisdom that we get from this is knowing that Creator, the Great Spirit, has our best interests in mind. Are you surrounding yourself with people that have your best interests in mind? Because they mirror each other, right? Are you abusing people? Are you a taker? Are you offering? Are you giving life? There's all the same things, right? Anyway, you know me, I can keep going, but we gotta wrap this puppy up. I love you guys, man. Thank you for your love and your wisdom this morning. I just get carried away with this, man. I love you. I love you guys, man. Okay, so announcements. Okay, big announcement here. So it looks like, just so you know, I will be attending the 2023 Gathering of Elders on the Mississippi River, May 26th through the 29th, Nauvoo, Illinois. So it appears that we're going to have a little We Are the Medicine gathering there, like everybody's doing that. So that's going to be really exciting to, sit with you. Maybe we'll all go out to eat or something. We'll sit in a circle and pray together. I think that's going to be a really fantastic time. So I really hope that you can make it if you're in the area. Got nothing to do. Let's just run on by. We can love up each other, give each other hugs, and we'll just eat together. We say quick, good prayers together, and that would be that would really be incredible. So once again, that's May 26th through the 29th, right? And I think I'm posted that a couple of times. I'll keep posting that again. Okay, workshop announcement. Okay, a volunteer. Okay, so we've taken another beautiful step toward closer to this beautiful T-shirt thing. So stand by the next couple of days for pre-orders we're finally here for and thank you to all those men and women out there in those committees who have such good and beautiful hearts that put this together. I could not do this myself, so thank you. I'm not going to mention your name unless you tell me I can. But you know who you are out there. Just know that I love you. Thank you for all your time and everything that you put in. And now we're going to see the fruits of our beautiful volunteer work. So thank you for that. It's not even work anymore. It's just like, oh my God, we're here. We're helping missing and murdered Indigenous women. We have through MMIW down in California, and we're also looking for MMI up here in
Canada.
Canada to support. So we're also doing that, but we're just starting with one. You know, that was the thinking. So uh, women's group, and I know it was canceled last night because Denise is still sick. Women's International Healing Circle Facebook group. When women support each other, incredible things happen. Sorry about that. Yeah, I just heard this morning that it was canceled. So Thursday coming up. So there's like a North American one, and then there's like an international one too. And I think Maureen's going to run that one. Maureen O'Hara's going to run that one this Thursday, and she does a fantastic job over there. There's a grandmother's council. You know, they just do a great job over there. So if you're a woman, please. And also we have also, if you can't have any time for the committees, we also have a way to donate. There's a GoFundMe. Oh, yeah, it's my birthday. Yeah, so my birthday's coming up, April 9th. And so I'm accepting donations for the MMIW. So please, got a few bucks extra. Yeah, people will give $5 or $10. That's perfect. So. I love you. All right, so I kept it a little short. I know we're running over. The final word is this ceremony may end, but the ceremony in you does not end. So let's take what we lived here and learned here, loved here, and listened to here, and take it out to the four winds. Does it's no good to be all spiritual here if it doesn't go here, and it doesn't go out there. So we have to live what we have learned here today. My name is Kamipa Whitmackwa, Standing Bear. And if no one said that, they love you today. I love you very much. Let's have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.